but everyone has a special talent in which they can believe.
Welcome to the Children's Corner. I'm Savannah. I'm Katie. I'm JJ. We hope you have fun today. We're going to have fun.
Today we have a wonderful treat with you. Katie Dreyer rejoins us again from the Baltimore Children's Zoo. Thank you for being here. You're welcome. I'm very happy to be here. What do we have in store for everybody? Should we take guesses? Go ahead. Oh, maybe it's one of the animals. Maybe this is an animal that you've met before, but I've actually brought you today. And Karen, what? Speak up. Go ahead. A turtle. Do we have a turtle? We might have a turtle today, yeah. And the other animal? An elephant. Maybe we have an elephant or a giraffe.
A giraffe or an elephant wouldn't be able to fit in the box.
You're exactly right.
Maybe it's a swan.
A swan. We did that with John Wiz. Remember when he made those beautiful balloons for us, the balloon animals?
Or a monkey.
Or a monkey. What's a monkey do? Maybe a lizard. Well, maybe. We should see what we have. Okay, I'm putting out the first one. Maybe.
Maybe a squirrel.
A squirrel. Do you think the zoo keeps squirrels? Do you have a squirrel in your backyard?
Maybe a chipmunk.
Maybe a chipmunk. Listen to it. Come back over.
Okay. All right, everybody, all the children, get over a little bit more to the left, okay?
This way?
Yep, so I can get the animal.
This way. Come this way.
It's a turtle.
Thank you.
That was right.
You were, and whoever guessed turtle was right.
That's me.
Okay, this is a very special type of turtle. We're not going to touch this one, okay? His name is Statler, and he is an Egyptian tortoise. So, what do you think? Do you think you could go out in your backyards here in Maryland and see a turtle like Statler? No, you can't. In the wild, this type of turtle lives in Africa.
But how could it come all the way out here to America?
You know what? Its parents came to the Baltimore Zoo and laid an egg, and Statler hatched out just about a year ago. He's just about 1 year old. How long did they stay in their egg? Yeah, I don't know. That's a very good question. You have stumped me. I know Statler came out of his about a year ago, and these can actually live to be older than 50 years old. Wow, and how big do they get? They are actually the second smallest tortoise in the world. So they can get to be about 3.5, 4 inches long, and that's really about it.
Amazing. What do you all notice about the tortoise that you don't see in your own backyards when you look at turtles? What's the difference about the shell? Go ahead.
Because about the shell, it got all this black and stuff.
Different color. Let's see you on the board.
What's your question?
I've been living color.
His arms and legs are different colors, they're different than his shell, and they're different than the kinds of turtles you would see around here. Anybody have a guess what kind of habitat this turtle lives in?
Meaning, what's its house like? What do you think? Do you think it has, like, in a tree, or do you think it's...
What do you think?
Water.
Water? No, that's a good guess, but that's not where they live.
On ground.
They do live on the ground, and they live in the desert. So what's it like in the desert?
There's no water.
There's very little water. What else? What's the temperature like?
It's burning hot.
It's very hot. That's right. So this little guy is actually very, very good at living in very high temperatures and not having a lot of water.
That's why you bring him here?
Well, I brought him here because he's a very interesting little turtle. What's your question?
I was going to say, I never saw a turtle like this. I was going to say, sometimes turtles are different than the mothers and the fathers. It grew out of babies.
Sometimes, but most turtles, this turtle would look pretty much exactly like its mom and its dad.
Well, how come this turtle has a longer neck?
Oh, the one that's moving. Yeah, we do have another animal friend that's over there.
How do you tell the age of a turtle?
So, well, by their size. Some people say that you can estimate by counting the rings
Like a trig.
on these little plates. These are called scoops. Can you say that? Scoops. That's what these little plates are called, and that's not a very good estimate. So that's more of a myth. But by their size.
How come it has a really strong, a really long neck?
Got a long neck so that he can reach out. He reaches that long neck out. Likes to eat plants and grass and leaves, and he can reach out and take bites off of the vegetation, the plants that he eats.
Zion, you wanted to say something?
I was going to say, sometimes big turtles, mommy turtles, and daddy turtles, sometimes their squares don't tell the age.
That's right. Sometimes the scoots don't tell the age very well.
Well, really, here's a good question. How do you really know if it's a girl or a boy?
That's a great
That is
question.
a great question, and I will tell you, you will think this is so funny. Statler, I've been calling Statler a him, but we actually don't know if Statler's a boy or a girl. And we won't be able to tell until he's about 2 or 3 years old. And you can tell because male Egyptian tortoises have longer tails.
Let me see his tail.
See, it's got a
How little he is.
little tail. And as he gets a little bit older, we'll be able to tell. If his tail gets real big and fat and long, then we'll know it's a boy.
And do their legs and heads stay white their whole life?
Yep. Yep.
Let me see his tail. I wonder what the other animal is.
And so if they live in the desert, do they come out at night?
They actually don't. A lot of desert animals sleep during the day when it's really hot and come out at night. This type of animal actually is awake during the day. It's just, if it gets too hot, he'll just
It's a
kind of sit there.
What do you
And not
think
do
it
anything.
eats? What do they
Little
eat?
short,
If it lives in
they have
the
sharp
desert, what do you
claws.
think it might eat?
Well,
Zion,
it's pink.
what do you think that the tortoise might eat if it lives in the desert?
Maybe wood or grass.
They eat plants. It's pretty hard for them to find food because there's not a lot of plants in the desert, but they eat grass and
They eat
plants.
cactuses.
So, not really.
Katie, you said that this tortoise is only 2 years old and it lives to 50, so how will its size change?
Well, like I said, it's one of the smallest turtles in the world, one of the smallest tortoises, so it's not going to get much larger than this. They can be they'll grow to be about 3.5 or 4 inches long.
In comparison to other tortoises, which get how big?
There are tortoises like the Galapagos tortoise that are huge. They
Like
get to
this,
be,
they have
yeah,
big.
very, very big. At the zoo, we have the African spur-thigh tortoise, which is another one of the largest tortoises in the world, and they're much, much larger than this one.
Why are you shaking your head?
He's looking around.
I feel
He's finally getting used to all of you. This is a new environment, and so sometimes, if you ever go someplace new, you maybe feel a little bit scared. And
Cameron had a
look
question. Wait a
around.
second, Cameron's been waiting. The other animal, well, we'll have time for the other animal. Did you all have any other questions? Go ahead.
No, he doesn't. Tortoises, they're really neat. They don't really have teeth. No
Well, I'll tell
teeth.
you what, you all hold your questions for the next animal. Katie from the Children's Baltimore Zoo will be back with us, and we hope you all will stay right where you are so that we can return on the Children's Corner with you.
Oh, hi, boys and girls, look at me! I'm having so much fun!
Hi.
All right. My name is John, and you're watching the Children's Corner.
My name is John. You're watching the Children's Corner.
Okay, can you do it again?
I don't think so. I can.
I know you can. We got you. Say, hi, my name is John, and you're watching the Children's Corner.
Hi, my name is John. You're watching the Children's Corner. Do you like that? Look at this.
Our good friend Katie Dreyer from the Baltimore Zoo and the Children's Baltimore Zoo, right?
Yeah, we have a wonderful children's zoo.
And you know, it's an internationally well-known children's zoo. They have very special things. And one of the things they do is they have a Zoomobile. And maybe you can tell our listeners, our viewers at home what that is.
We have a Zoomobile outreach program. We have 2 vans. We go to schools, libraries, daycare centers, senior citizen centers. If you're interested in that, you can take a look at our website, baltimoreZoo.org, or give us a call at the education department.
Now, we have already shown you a really special tortoise, an Egyptian tortoise, right? It's very small. And Katie has brought something else to join us today at Port Discovery. So maybe you can bring us and show us what it is.
And I know you've been waiting because you've been making so much noise. Everybody's very curious.
Yes, we were trying to decide whether we said maybe it was a giraffe. No, giraffe's too big. Maybe it was a zebra. No, a zebra's too big.
Okay. What kind of animal is this? You did get it right. This is an armadillo. This is a very special armadillo. His name is Mo, and he is a 9-banded armadillo.
And these are the bands?
These are the bands. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's one that kind of hides in there. That's the 9th.
And how old is Mo?
So Mo's actually about 12 years old.
Older than probably you?
I'm 7.
You're 7.
Are you 12?
So there's enough bands for each one of you.
That's right. And now Mo is a really neat animal because a lot of people think that armadillos, Mo's a little wiggly, he's excited. A lot of people think that armadillos are reptiles like the tortoise because they're kind of scaly. They're actually not, they're mammals. They have very special skin that's kind of bony, and interestingly, these are also called scoots, just like on the tortoise.
I think he's
And the scoots are these little things, right? The little shapes on
Yes.
on the
I
skin.
think he wanted to get down.
He would probably like to run around.
He probably would, because if you look at Mo's face, you see he's got that big long nose, and he's sniffing around. What do you think he's sniffing for? What do you think an armadillo likes to eat?
What?
Wood? No, they don't like wood. They don't really have the teeth for chewing wood. Leaves? Nope, not leaves.
What?
Nope. What do you think?
Hen?
Nope,
Hay?
not hay. We
What
give them
lives
that.
in the ground, and there's lots and lots of them, and they have a little colony.
What?
What are those called? And sometimes we get them in our kitchen, and we don't want them in our kitchen.
And they have 6 legs.
Yeah, little tiny things.
Spiders!
Ants, it's
Ants. Armadillos love ants and bugs and worms. He's got these long claws.
Egg catcher.
You could. It might be handy to have an armadillo around your house. Would eat up a lot of the bugs. They have these long claws, which they use for digging in the dirt to find bugs.
But I think
Wow, they're also very good jumpers. He can jump straight up in the air.
You want to watch him jump?
I'm not going to let them jump. They only jump when they're scared. And we don't want to scare our friend.
No. And when they are first born, do they already have the skin like this?
They do. It's a little bit softer, but they look pretty much like this when they're born.
And does the skin get harder as they get older?
It does.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Mo.
Oh, nice Mo. So what do you notice about Mo that's different than, let's say, any other animal you've seen?
He gets to touch Mo.
Well, he has strong skin.
That's Mo. He's a little smelly.
Very hard skin. And so there are other armadillos that are not nine-banded.
There are other armadillos. There are about 20 different kinds of armadillo.
And also don't forget banded kind, it can roll up into this big tight ball.
Wow.
You have a good memory.
Very good. The 3-banded armadillo can do that. There's a 7-banded and a 6-banded. Plus, there's a giant armadillo that's about 3 feet long.
Oh,
And so their ears are very special. Can you tell us about their ears?
Well, armadillos sleep during the day and are awake at night. That's called nocturnal. And so they need to have a very, very good sense of hearing to be able to get around in the dark. They need to be able to hear something sneaking up on them. So their ears are kind of cup-shaped.
They look like a flower tulip or something.
Yeah, they do.
The cup.
They do. And that helps to funnel the sound.
Like when you take a piece of paper and you roll it in, you know how you do that to make it a big megaphone? Like that, that's what his ears look like. Question?
what is it? What is its enemy?
What is its enemy?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. There are lots of things that would like to eat armadillos, like bobcats.
Oh, I know. Foxes.
Foxes, very good. Weasels might be a little bit too small to eat an armadillo.
Where do armadillos live in the United States?
They live in, do you know? Do you think they live around here?
No.
No, they don't.
I think they live in South Carolina.
You know what? South Carolina might still be a little too far north for them, but you're getting close. They live in Florida and Texas, in the warmer states, and all through South America. Canada would be too cold. They like very warm.
Look at him, he's looking around at you.
He is.
Saying hello.
And you can see him
Do
sniffing.
they make a noise? So they're quiet.
They're very quiet. You can sometimes hear them sniffing around, and he was making a lot of noise in his crate, scratching.
Right.
So, no, that's just to give him a soft bed to lay
Now
on.
he's calmed down and he only has 3 toes. No, I see a 4th. There's a 4 toes, right? What other questions do you have about Mo? Go ahead.
I was going to say, do different armadillos like him, do they make a lot of noise, or some armadillos, do they just live in other countries and be quiet?
Do they live in other, I think that was a couple of questions. Armadillos are pretty quiet. They don't really make much noise. All you really hear is them scratching, and sometimes you can hear them sniffing. And armadillos do live in other countries. You'll find armadillos all through South, Central, and South America. So you find them in Mexico.
But this is the sharpest, on this one, this is the sharpest nail.
On the claws?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about, an armadillo is so different from us, and yet the armadillo also has some things we have. What does the armadillo have that we have?
One that, no.
Well, we have 2 arms and 2 legs, right? Well, I'll tell you what, we have 2 ears and well, maybe we'll talk more about it when we return for more on the Children's Corner with Mo. Say goodbye, Mo.
Bye.
Imagine being a hero. Imagine fighting the bad guys, saving the world, all that good stuff. Now imagine fighting an enemy you can't see or touch. Extra life. Play games. Heal kids.
Welcome back to the Children's Now we've all met Mo and
Statler.
And Statler, who has those, what are those things called?
Scoots?
That's it, scoots. It's not exactly like little scooters, but the scoots. And we have had such a wonderful time meeting Mo and Statler, and now we're going to learn a little bit more about the summer when we hope to go to the Children's Zoo with all of you. Can you tell us a little bit about what we might do? Well, I have some ideas because I've been to the Children's Zoo, and there's the jumping on the lily pads.
Oh, right. Yeah, so there's jumping on the lily pads. There is
The tree slide.
The tree slide, which is so much fun. There's the farmyard with the kids zone and the petting zoo and the slide and the barn.
Remember that? There's a goat, right?
There are goats in the petting zoo.
And there's chickens and rooster. I remember a rooster at one point.
Yeah.
What sound does a rooster make? That's right. What about a cow? That's right. And so we'll probably have a chance to come and tour it and see the ducks that are native to Maryland, and even the natural kinds of trees and foliage, the plants that the animals eat that are really native to our state.
Right, exactly, because it's all about it's a walk through Maryland.
So there won't be any cicadas by then. Yes?
I found lots of cicada shells.
Well, I hope we'll have a little time to talk about the cicadas because I found a lot of cicadas myself. Have you enjoyed meeting the cicadas?
Yeah, and I got one in my hand.
Yeah, I brought a few little shells. Anybody want to tell us a little bit about the cicadas, your experience of Yes?
I was gonna say, sometimes you cook cicadas.
Well, some people might do that. I can't say that that's something I'm going to do, but I'm very interested in the sound that they make. And maybe if we have a little time, we'll be able to talk about that.
Sometimes when they're alive and they make noises in the morning, it sounds really a little bit loud.
It's very loud, and I've noticed that with the
And you
cicadas,
can hear it from out your door and backyard.
that's very true, and in some places it's louder than others, but you know, I met a scientist named Dan Carlson who discovered that when birds sing, plants have something in them called a stomata, and they open, and it makes the plant get bigger and bigger, and they notice that when a bird sings, the plants actually open up to get more sunlight and more dew and more moisture. So I'm wondering if when the cicadas sing, if they aren't doing something to help the trees grow just like the birds do. And it's a really interesting truth that not a lot of people know about, but Mr. Carlson has gone all over the world and he plays music into the fields of orange groves and cornfields in order to make everything grow bigger. So sometimes I think even when I had a friend, Chris Bird, who said you can sing to your plants. So don't forget to sing to your plants and even get your mom and dad to sing with you. And we'll be back for more on the Children's Corner after this.
Hi, I'm Savannah, and I'm going to show you my puppet show. Hi, we're the little puppet people. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Let's go screw. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Let's go screw. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. And then you know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Welcome back to the Children's Corner, and we have some new children who have just joined us, and we're so glad you all are here with us. You didn't get to see Mo, bonobo, the armadillo. But maybe you saw him from where you were. I hope so. And we also heard a lot of noise all the time. Maybe you can tell us what Mo was doing that made all that noise.
Well, you might remember we saw Mo's big long nails, and he's just in there scratching and digging. I guess he doesn't know that he's not in dirt.
It's sort of like when we're in our room and Mom and Dad says, bedtime, and you're still talking and making noise, and maybe you don't know that it's really bedtime. It's sort of like Mo, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think so. But I mentioned something I think maybe you could follow up with and talk to your science teachers and think about it, is that I have a good friend named Dan Carlson. And Dan Carlson was very concerned about different people in the world who didn't have enough to eat. And he thought that if there was a way to increase how much grew in each of these countries, that people would have more to eat. So he did lots of research for many, many years, and he discovered something really amazing, that when birds sing, they actually make plants grow bigger. Because of the way plants take in sunlight and moisture and dew, it's sort of like a bird when it opens its mouth for the mother. The plants do something like that. So my thinking is that maybe, and I'm trying to find Mr. Carlson now to ask him, maybe when the cicadas were singing all over Maryland and other places, they were doing something really important for the trees and for the leaves. And of course we know who eats cicadas. Or what eats cicadas?
Was it birds?
Birds, exactly. And then the shells, what happens to the shells when they fall to the ground? Well, actually, if you saw, did any of you see cicadas hatching? What did you see? What did you notice? Go ahead.
At this place, there were two cicadas stuck together, and then they started their spine on their back was ripping up to their shell. It was sticking everywhere.
Well, something I noticed was pretty amazing. When the cicadas climbed up the tree out of the ground, when they were first getting ready to come out of their shell, what did they do? Did you see that?
Yeah, they were sticking.
And then how did they get out of their shell? Did you notice? What did you see?
The spine, you know how there's spine?
Uh-huh.
They ripped open kind of
Did you notice though, they held onto the tree like this and they leaned way back?
Yeah, at the back.
Like they're letting gravity, the force of gravity actually pull them back. And then Katie, maybe you have something you can help us close with those cicadas. They make a lot of noise.
They're very loud. They're very loud right now at the zoo, but the thing to remember is they're really cool insects, and we only get them once every 17 years. So they're not going to hurt you. They don't have stingers. They don't even really have mouths. So just enjoy them while they're around.
Well, I was thinking maybe on another time we can ask Katie when we go to the zoo how the other animals responded. But thank you for being with us. It was really wonderful. What do we say? Thank you. And we hope to go to the Baltimore Zoo with you later in the year. Bye. Bye.
We hope you had fun today. We'll see you next time.